Come on into the room, be coachable, teachable, trainable. Post your city and state where you are catching this live from on today. My name is Brandmaster Martina Britt Yelverton, and today is June close out. I am so excited. We have had an amazing quarter 1 and quarter 2 time frame together, and now next week we are moving into quarter 3. But specifically for today, we are actually discussing planning your 90-day metrics using real results. So today I'm probably going to get an opportunity to share screen, showing you guys some of the metrics that we have, because if you feel like you've been guessing your way through your entire plan, then today we're going to use some real data to show you guys how to plan for what's next, okay? So you can stop guessing, you can start growing, and you can use some real numbers to build your next 90-day brand growth plan, okay? So if you feel like you've been guessing your way through, it's time to shift. If you have been looking at first doing a 90-day plan, then running a funnel, then setting up an email, then setting up an SMS, but you're not seeing the results that you want, then it's time that you analyze some of your own trends so that you can generate your 90-day plan specifically from your own metrics. I'm going to show you how to use AI systems like, my favorite Susan, ChatGPT, and a new, more robust platform, and I call her Manny, right, to analyze your content and to be able to use that content to create your next 90-day plan. So today, let's see, we're going to cover some key points why most entrepreneurs plan based on hope, not on their data, why you shouldn't do that, 5 key metrics that you need to review before building your next 90-day plan, how to prioritize your growth actions that move your brand forward. These type of metrics that you're going to use will help you move the needle in your business, how you're going to use AI, like I just mentioned, and how to build a realistic 90-day plan that will actually drive results. And like I've told you guys, since we started this entire plan, it's about making sure you're using your personality, your voice, your tone, your brand, so that you attract people who need your voice, your value, and your vision. Okay. So specifically for today, we talked about previously collaborations and partnerships and what you need to do when you're actually meshing up with other people so that you can reach their audience, they can reach your audience, you guys can come together, you can play off each other, you can have a really good time so everyone can enjoy your stream, your training, your education as well. But before you move forward and you begin to make your next 90-day plan, I want you to look at why it is that you've been guessing along this path instead of growing along this path, right? Because when you keep moving in this direction, you're going to continue to get you're going to continue not to get the results that you want. You probably currently are operating with a lack of clear data tracking because you don't know where to look in your metrics to be able to get real data. You may have too many competing priorities. Now, for me, as the brand master, I have multiple competing priorities because I have clients that I focus on. I have my own brand that I'm building. And then, of course, I still want to be out here operating and marketing and making sure that other people know about the truth about what the gurus tell you that they shouldn't tell you, but what we will be really transparent in the month of July and tell you the truth about this journey. We're going to dig deep into the last 6 months, the entire process that I've tracked for you live on YouTube, okay, for the first Q1 and Q2 portion of this journey. We're going to dig deep into that for the balance of the year, and we're going to show you why a lot of the things, why they weren't clicking, why they weren't working, the truth and the transparency about what we're doing to pivot, and the massive shift that we are taking. We even may be moving from 1 p.m. to midnight. Yes. Why? Because I'm noticing in the metrics, a lot of y'all are up late working. That's exactly where I was. So I understand. Once you get the kids to bed, once you actually get everything set up and you can actually focus that 1 or that 2 hours from your 5 to your 9, with your family and your life, when you get that time, y'all been out here looking at the videos. So I'm thinking maybe that's a better time for us to get together so that I can help you guys stop looking at all the other shiny object and that syndrome that's real, and how to stop always chasing the next tactic, and how to really pay attention to what's going to work for you in your business. Okay, so we're going to discuss today 5 key metrics to review your lead generation, your sales conversion, your content performance, your engagement, and your list growth. Okay, and we're going to be actually doing this together. You guys are going to see me actually go in and transition my email list as much as I can show you. Have to blur the screen. We don't want, to be divulging private client information, but I want to be able to go through and segment a list and show you how to actually do it. I want to be able to go in and actually build funnels and show you 0 metrics to a percentage of the growth over time. I want to be able to take and show you what a sales conversion process looks like. I want to be able to help you see the content and how it's performing, all of that. And I want you to understand, we're going to double down on what's really working. We're going to fix whatever is underperforming, and we're going to continue to align the actions for what we do with what you guys need to see. So while I'm still going to brand you and show you the proof of client testimonials and case studies, I also want to educate you. Yes, we're going to continue to educate you on the real truth that goes on behind branding and what all that looks like. But then in the last thing, I am helping you get your assets in order. So I literally stripped down my entire business all the way back to ground zero, going all the way back to ensure that the domain is up and working, the links are up and running, the subdomains are up and running. I'm going to take you through the entire, what did I do with that? 9-step process that we go through, and we're going to build new brands for you guys live and in living color, right? Going through this complete 9-step process, guys, right here that we use in the BrandYOU agency. We're going to do that for a complete new brand, and we're going to track it for a solid 90 days so you can watch its growth. We're going to show you a brand that's already up and running, the Bill Hayes Foundation, and we're going to do a new project, their gala, and you guys are actually going to be able to watch the entire strategic planning of that. This is some of the things that we're doing in our planning of our content for the next 90 days. And you guys actually get to watch it. So if you're planning on planning an event, come and plan that event with us. Let's do it together, okay? But we're going to do that to make sure that our one aligned action, our one intentional action, which right now is showing you guys behind the scenes how we're doing what we're doing and how we're using our system, how we're using Canva, how we're using StreamYard, how we're using GHL, how Manny and Susan are operating for us and freeing up our time. All right, we're going to go through all of it. I'm going to have you enter chats or enter prompts that say, hey, analyze these top 10 content topics based on engagement and suggest 5 content themes for my next 90 days. That's a prompt that you're going to use. And again, I tell you all the time, when you use a prompt, when you get the response, make sure that you go and edit it so it continues to sound like you. You guys are going to get to do that in real time. All right. So let's move into building your 90-day action plan. The first thing that I want you to grab your favorite pen and your favorite pad and do is I need for you to set a 1 to 2 main intentional brand growth goal for the next 90 days. What is your end result that you want to happen? Do you want to be able to say, hey, my goal is to sell or to share or to sow 5 days a week, at least one new client lead entry, meaning you want a client to come in, get whatever your lead magnet is, and you want to be able to walk them through the process of the lead magnet, at least one opt-in a day, 5 leads a week. I need for you to be that specific with your 1 or 2 main brand growth goals so that we can walk through the process. So think about that. 90 days. If you're thinking about 90 days, that's typically 4, 8, 12 weeks. So that's 12 weeks times 5 times a week. What's that? 60, 12 times 5, 60. So that's 60 new leads over the course of 3 months that you are available to walk through from A to Z, your entire lead magnet. Okay, so at the end of 90 days, we're looking at the possibility of you having 60 new leads. Now, you know the 1%, 10%, all of them types of rules. So, you know, if you're putting it out there and you're trying to get 60, if we're doing a 10% comparison, then you need to be putting out 600, or you need to be drawing in 600 leads so you can close 60 people, or something like that. So whatever your metrics are, because they vary from business to business, however, industry-wise, we're looking at a 1 to 3% conversion, 10% show up rate with a 1% conversion rate, okay? So if that's what you're looking at, know you'll need to identify 3 to 5 core actions per goal, right? And then you'll need to schedule that out, and then you want to review your progress every 30 days and adjust as needed for the next 30 days, and then adjust as needed for the next 30 days. So if that makes sense to you, think about what is your 1 to 2 main growth goals for the next 90 days. Write that down. I'll slow it down and say it louder for the people in the back. What are your 1 to 2 main brand growth goals for the next 90 days? And be as minuscule as possible, be as detailed as possible. And the example that I gave you is I want to get 1 converting lead per day. So if you're looking at getting 1 per day, then you need to pull in 10 people that actually say, yes, here is my email address, my mobile number, and my name. And yes, thank you for my download. And now that I have my download, this says that I need to do A, B, and C and book this appointment. Let me book this appointment. Now you've got your 1. 10 people may have taken you up on the offer, but 1 person booked. So when you go through and you identify the 3 to 5, this is step 2, the 3 to 5 core actions per goal, you'll need to schedule them. So that means if you're trying to put out, I don't know, 10 videos in one day. I know that's a stretch. By videos, I mean real shorts. I mean, you may have somewhere you did a training, okay, and you went and chopped that training up and you repurposed it and put it out so that it goes out every single day, 2, 3, or 5 times a day on multiple platforms, and someone looks at the CTA and opts in. Those are the core 3 to 5 actions that you need to implement per goal. Your goal was to get 1 person to book that appointment and talk to you about that lead magnet. Okay? The 3 to 5 core actions were, I need to find a video. I need to break it up. I need to schedule it to go out on multiple platforms. And they need to have what the video is about. Here is the lead magnet. Here's how you get the lead magnet. Go get the lead magnet. Those are the action steps for that 1 goal. And when you get that 1 person that comes in, you've met that goal for the day. Then turn around and do it again for tomorrow, because your 90-day plan is that you want to have what? 1 per day. Simply 5 days a week. Now, if you go ahead and work on the 6th and the 7th day, then that's just going to solidify that 7 days, all you needed was 5 leads. Now, don't look at 5 as a small number, because remember, you have to walk that individual through that lead magnet. You have to be that nurturing with that new prospect, with that new lead, to make sure that they convert. Go back to this week where I discussed how to nurture, how to set up that email, how to make sure that you schedule it, how to put it in your Go High Level. I talked about it, and over inside of the free BrandYOU community is where I actually walk people through how to do that. But specifically, if you take the opportunity to pay attention to that small number, I need to be able to handle 1 new person per day, walking them through the entire lead magnet. And you do that consistently, and you figure out a way to make that automated, using your good old Susan or your Manny to make that automated. Now you have what you need to be working while you're focused on the next. Then you can move that one over to the automated system, and now you're working on the next, right? If you want to plan your next 90 days, based on what is really working, and you want to learn how to use AI to accelerate that growth, then you'll want to attend the free upcoming Monetize Your Voice with AI webinar. Description information will be in the description. Excuse me. Webinar information will be in the description below. I want to say comment so bad, but I know that's not what I'm trying to say. But when you go through that process, now you can pay more attention to what it is, where you need to put your focus at, how you need to plan, and all of that going forward. So let me see here if I can share screen before we close out this information on today. What did I do with it, guys? I had my metrics pulled up and then I closed it. So that's for my appointment for tonight. So here we go. Here we go. Let's pull this up. All right, and so let me get my overlay up on the screen. Let me get my screen shared. And let's move forward with sharing this with you guys. So here we go, share screen. I don't think I have any volume to share, but just in case. Well, there's we go. Move myself up and out of the way. Alrighty, so here on the screen, I went in and I just grabbed the first statistics for the social planner that we have here, okay? And it says over the course of 1 week, because these are the statistics from 1 week, out of the 10 likes that were received, 107 posts that went up, nearly 1,000 impressions, and 54 total comments across the platforms that it actually was gathering the data on. So it chose to do social performance information on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube, Google My Business, and TikTok. All right. And over the course of 1 week, usually I generally don't have too many posts that go out on Sundays and Mondays. So again, we were discussing 5 days a week. These are the 5 days in question. So because this week, and I am not at all surprised by the metrics, we are in the summertime, and we also are making a pivot. You know, I felt like the numbers were going to be down, and I was a little bit accurate. So the numbers over the past 70 days are down by 40%. And here on the number of impressions were down by 62%, 82%, and these are the metrics that we're looking at. So it looks like the male still dominated in their interest and then in their looking and readability. This number still blows me away. This number 18 to 24. So we're talking about a demographic of ages 18 to 54. Crazy to me how wide of a demographic of people are interested in the branding information, but it is what it is. And so what this literally tells me is that yet again, the focus is heavily on TikTok, and this is something new that I did here on YouTube. So I'm really not surprised by some of the numbers because I made a small pivot here, and let me show you what specifically that pivot was. And what that pivot was we shifted a little bit of information away from the live videos here, and we moved the live video information from here because I wanted to check the numbers over to uploading the videos directly, just so I could begin to see the difference. All right. And of course, the shorts, for some reason, they still remain popping here on YouTube, but for some reason, this YouTube data is not transferring over into YouTube data is not transferring over here into the portal with regards to engagement, impressions, and it is at least showcasing over here in the post reach. Now, post reach, what this means is if I'm actually going in here and creating post. So there's a difference. It's not going to give you the metrics unless you get specific about the metrics that you're looking for. So if I'm not posting here in this area through this platform, there will be no metrics. So that's another reason why I decided to take my planner content And I actually decided to start posting directly from the system instead of utilizing the live feature, because when I utilize the live feature, this live feature is actually coming out of StreamYard. I'm not going to be able to see any metrics from StreamYard inside of here for YouTube. I literally had to begin, and this is the first time this week, only 2 days this week, that I put up a post directly from this platform onto YouTube. So that is getting ready to be a completely new metric. This number in previous posts, if I have those somewhere, I would be able to look those up and show you, and I'm going to see real quickly if I have those so you can understand, because when you begin using the system, I want you to know where your metrics are going to come from. And I was unaware that if I am posting or I am putting videos or going live from StreamYard, then none of those metrics would show up here inside of my statistics. Didn't know that? Now we know. So let's see if I can find some of the on-screen data so I can show you what these look like, and what I mean by we would have never known why our YouTube was never delivering content. Oh, and those pictures did not come out so well, so that's not going to show you what you need to see. So no, it's not going to be able to show you. But just giving you a heads up, that's the reason why we wanted to start. Instead of going here and posting inside of YouTube, instead of going here and utilizing StreamYard to post that content, these videos are actually now here, and I upload them directly through the platform here. So now when I'm using my planner content and I'm actually creating a new post, when I create the new post and I actually choose what particular platform, I'm going down and I'm selecting the platform, and now I'm able to put the post information in here, and I'm able to upload directly here inside of this platform a video or a short, so that I can get the actual metrics all together in one location, which is here. Okay, so just giving you ways that you can figure your metrics out. Now, if I wanted to know, on the platform here specifically, what are my analytics looking like? What do these numbers and these metrics look like? Then I can go directly here into my channel analytics, and I can say, hey, I want to see an overview for the last 30 days, but let's do the entire 90-day process so you can see what has actually happened. So here are analytics that we're looking at for the last 90 days. And so for the last 90 days, the channel received 40,000 views, right? And even though here in the last 90 days, the watch time has gone down, we've had an increase in subscribers. Of course, we want to see this go up and be even more, but here where you would locate your metrics at, okay? And it's saying compared to the previous 90 days. Okay, so don't compare yourself to other channels. Compare yourself to your own efforts, your own intention, and your own work. Okay, and so your own efforts here on this channel, this says that compared to the last 90 days, the previous 90 days, and that would be October, November, and December. Yes, October, November, and December, or January, February, and March if we're talking 90 days. So January and February and March, nearly 700 more percent, okay, compared to January, February, and March. The last 90 days would be April, May, and June, okay? An additional 74% less. So that means we got more subscribers in the first quarter than we did in the second quarter, which means while y'all were instantly interested in the original information, you kind of got used to what you were seeing, and the subscriber time went down. But these are the metrics that you want to pay attention to. So let's go look at what the actual content delivered. You guys, we're talking about 7,000 new views compared to 130 views. So that means YouTube is showing these shorts to new people. That's great. Okay. And from those shorts, 8 new subscribers, only 2 from the last stream. So you see why I have to be paying attention to more quality shorts, because on the YouTube channel, that's where the interest is. This is the information and the analytics that you need to be paying attention to. So while I may be delivering a full channel of content, a full 10 or 20-minute presentation of content giving you the full interest, for some reason you all are wanting short, quick snippets of information, to the tune of about 100% of the information. You all are really preferring to have short videos that give you exactly what you're looking for rather quickly. And this is what YouTube is saying. So this is how you're going to look at your analytics. And again, it's still, really shocking to me when I go in here and I'm seeing that the actual analytics here specifically on YouTube are still saying that the males are competing for the information, and it is the 45 to 65 plus year range that's actually consuming the content. Males actually age 45 to 65 or who are consuming the content. Okay, and then you guys aren't worried about any of the subtitles that are putting up here from the United States, and mostly it's from the people who are not subscribed. So of course we would want more people to subscribe, because we want you to get the notifications when we go live so you can keep coming back and getting the content. But I ain't gonna be mad at the people who are not subscribed, because they're still consuming the content, they're still watching everything, they're still getting the value, which is of course the reason why we do this. And it's more mobile phone than computer users that are still viewing the information. So my information needs to be content aware, mobile friendly, quick uploads and all of that, so you can consume the content quickly. This is the information that will help you move forward in understanding your audience. So one other thing we want to go check and see is, let's go over and let's see what information we can find on our insights. And I don't remember exactly where to go to here to find, nope, the insights, because I look at everything through, nope, I don't even remember where to go and look at the insights on IG, because I look at the insights, it used to be up here. Let's see if we can toggle around for a hot moment. Because I promise you, all jokes aside, I literally don't remember where the insights are inside IG, because I look at the insights inside of my platform. So when we don't know, we go ask, where do I locate the insights on IG? And our good old friend will help us. It says navigate to your profile tab, professional dashboard, and then insights. Thought I was there. Here, I thought I'd already gone on the profiles. Yeah, see, my insights used to be right here. What did you say do? Navigate tab, professional dashboard, insights. Y'all see professional dashboards? Because I don't. So guys, I have no idea where my insights have moved to. So can't show you those. I'm gonna have to whip out my handy dandy, what do you call it? My handy dandy tool that I have, because I literally don't see them. See something, because I thought I was already a professional account. I know y'all are probably watching this laughing. Yep, taps, I'm already there. All right, you all see this right here, because I don't see it. Go to your profile, tap professional dashboard. I was there. Okay. Okay, so I'm slipping and I'm slow because I don't see professional dashboard. So I know some of y'all are laughing and watching this, like, what the world? But hey, it is what it is. I have never professed to be a an IG, what do you call them? An IG educator. Nope. Let's try this dashboard. Okay, insights, account insights. We have arrived to the party, y'all. I'm never going to remember how I just did that. Because that couldn't have been sitting there the whole time and we missed it. But if it was, I know that's why y'all laughing. All right, here we go. Probably help if I would just check the comments. Y'all probably been saying, look here, look here. But anyway, so here are our account insights. All right, and so out of all followers and non-followers, most of you guys are again watching reels over on IG. Interesting. So again, this is letting me know that 80% of my reels are what are being watched, that you guys are watching those, you're following those, and it's mostly from non-followers. So again, IG is even showing my content to new people, which yay is what we'd like, but yes, new people. So the most active times, and I think this is really, really interesting because usually I'm posting my content at 12 midnight, usually 2 or 3 p.m., 9 p.m., and sometimes 3 a.m. So I think it's interesting that the highly watched times are around the times when I get ready to go live around 1 p.m. or I'm showing that first video. But I've generally been posting, and this is for followers who have been watching that content, is saying these time frames. So this is one way that you can begin to actually pay attention to when your content is trending high, reels are trending high. It looks like that 9 to 12 o'clock time, or when my IG reels are actually on and popping. Find that very, very interesting. But again, those are some analytics that you want to take into account and pay attention that your most active times for your reels brand master are anywhere from 9 to 12 to 3 p.m. on IG. So we want to make sure when we're posting our content that we consider that when we're actually out here planning our content and we're scheduling our content, we want to make sure that we adjust to have this go live or post live during that time frame where it can get actively seen, which it seems like 12 p.m. and I usually am not posting my first reel to 3 p.m. So again, this is how we will plan our content. And for the next 30 days, we will actually look at posting our content here onto the platform instead of 9 p.m. at night, 12 a.m. in the morning. We will now adjust our IG reels specifically to ensure that they begin at maybe 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. instead of doing those in the late night hour. So again, that's what you want to do. You want to take the opportunity to review your own real data metrics and double down on what is actually working. So I hope you guys have found some value in the information that was shared with you all here on today, that it makes sense for you guys, that you'll continue to pay attention to your own metrics, that you'll make shifts and changes and pivots inside of your own branding so that you can do what? You can level up, you can move the needle in your business, and what you endeavor to do, the intention that you have, actually begins to work in your favor. Okay, so as we close out today, I always like to ask a CTA question, a call to action question, and that's, where do you feel your brand needs the most focus over the next 90 days? Do you want to focus all your efforts on lead generation, on content creation, sales conversions, or the engagement with your audience? If you'll comment below, I would love to help you with that. And if you want to master any of this process, then you'll definitely want to begin to tune in for the month of July, when we're actually going to be over the shoulder, when you're going to be sitting down and we're going to be documenting the process of what we're doing, the massive pivot that we are making in this business, the massive pivot that we are making from not just educating you guys, but actually allowing you to walk through the process of everything and the changes that we're going to be making in the branding realm. And we may even be moving to a different time. So looking at the 45 to 65-year-old professional male who is transitioning from the W-2 job to doing what? To coming into entrepreneurship and business. 1 o'clock does not work for this particular industry. They're trying to get on in the later evening before they call it for the night. They're trying to get on in the late evening after they've had time to hassle with the kids, to do whatever they had to do. If they have a hustle that's going on, now it's time for them before they retire for the night. They may need to binge watch a video or two, or watch a training or do two, and put in some actual work before they retire for the night and start their day again. That seems to be the pivot that we may need to make. So while you guys have been watching us, and a lot of the old videos will say, 1 p.m., we may be pivoting to a 9 or a midnight hour where we begin to allow this information to drip out. Look for the information in the description, and it will let you know where you can find us at as we move into Q3. Thank you again for your time on today. I greatly appreciate it. And again, if you want to join us over in the Brand You community, then I suggest you do that. You're able to get some helpful tips and tools and things that can help your business grow. Thank you for your time on today, and I can't wait to see you in Q3. Next week, we start July the 1st. Catch you there.